Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Piano TV. So today I wanted to talk about the question of getting bored with the method books that you are using. And when we're bored with the books that we're using, our motivation wanes and then we practice less and it's this horrible downward spiral. So that's the question I'm going to be addressing today. I want to thank you guys too for your awesome feedback in the previous question and answer video. It seems that the majority of you are interested in the idea of doing a weekly segment that's shorter as opposed to a longer one. So we'll continue to work with this format and see if it continues to be something that you guys actually enjoy. And as always, if you have your own question, feel free to leave it in the comments below. What I think I'm gonna have a preference for are questions that people tend to like more, because that shows to me that it's a question that lots of people care about. But that being said, if there's like a buried treasure in there somewhere, I might address those more hidden questions as well. But let's get started. So this week's question is from One of a Kind, and it goes as follows. I've been self-teaching piano since 2014, and I can play the piano well considering my circumstances. I can play some intermediate pieces like Beethoven's Sonatina in F major, and I've been learning from a book called Piano Time 1 and 2. But lately I've been bored with that book of exercises and can barely practice 1 hour due to the lack of motivation that the books offer. They give me little or no inspiration. I want to move on to some more serious stuff. I don't know which piano level I'm at, so I have the fear that moving on to music that I like might be a waste of time because I might give up. Do you have any advice on what I should do? Should I move on or remain with learning through the exercise book? If I should move on, what recommendations do you have for pieces of music to learn and develop through? Thank you, and sorry if this is long. That's okay. I like long and detailed questions. I just want to start with saying I'm not personally familiar with the Piano Time series, so I can't speak to those in particular. But I will say that in general, I love method books, and I think that they're really worth using. I always use them with my students when we're starting out. And the ones I tend to use are the Piano Adventures ones. So this is like the first Piano Adventures for adults. There's a second one as well. And especially if you're self-taught, I recommend going through method books because a teacher can help you find material for your level, but it's really hard to do that when you're on your own. So a method book is kind of like a foolproof way to take you through a really logical progression. And if you are self-studying, I would recommend taking your book series, whichever it is, as far as it goes, like all the way to the end. So with Piano Adventures, you start with the 2 adult ones. You have this one and the other one, which I don't think I own anymore. And then you would jump into the regular Piano Adventure series. So this is book 3A, and then there'd be 3B and 4, and I think it goes up to 5. I would go through all of those. So yeah, I wanted to start this video by saying I love method books. I'm a big fan of them. However, that being said, I don't think that they should be your only book. I think it's a kind of a good standard number of books to have would be maybe 3. So maybe you're working on one method book and then you have 2 supplemental side books that are more in like genres you're interested in. Maybe they're more challenging pieces. So your issue is with flagging motivation and boredom with working through short pieces and short exercises. And I hear you on that. So I usually find that there's like a honeymoon period with learning piano. Usually it's like, you know, the first year you'll do pretty much anything. But then after that year, it's like, come on, when am I going to get to the good stuff? And the good stuff can take quite a while to get to. But once you hit that point, that's when you want to start adding in supplemental material. But I wouldn't abandon the method books. Method books are your friend. You just want to find some additional material to use with them. It could also be the case that you've simply outgrown your method books. A good rule of thumb is if it takes you a week or 2 of effort to master a piece in your book, sometimes even up to a month, then it's probably at the right level. But if you find that you're mastering it after a few playthroughs, it's too easy for you and you need something more challenging. It's challenging to choose music to learn without a teacher. And if you're not using a method book, or if you're past the point of method books, it can be even more of a challenge because you don't have like a really detailed specific roadmap. Now, I repeat this all the time in my videos, so I apologize to those of you who watch my videos and have seen them regularly, but I'm a big fan of using a music syllabus to choose new music to learn. Now, you mentioned that you were learning Sonatina in F by Beethoven, and that's around a grade 5 level piece according to the Royal Conservatory syllabus, which is free online as a PDF, and I'll leave a link to that in the blog post. So what I would ask yourself when choosing more music is, was that piece pretty easy for you to learn, or was it really a big stretch? Like, did it take a lot of work to get to? If it took a lot of work to get to, maybe you might want to explore some grade 3, 4 stuff. But if you found that it was well within your capabilities, then maybe you want to explore some more like grade 5-ish level material. And that'll give you a starting point. There's lists of books and individual pieces and stuff in here, everything from classical to contemporary. The sad reality of working on piano music is that a lot of the really awesome, really inspiring piano music that exists is also really, really difficult. And it's out of reach for most of us until we become fairly advanced. But that being said, there's still really great sounding beginner and intermediate level music. You just have to look for it. And you have to decide too what type of music is going to inspire you. That's why I can't give you a list of things to learn. Not only am I not 100% sure about what level you're at, I also have no idea what your preferences are. And that's why exploring a syllabus can be a good way to kind of explore your preferences. I mean, some people really lean into more like the big sounds of romantic era music, whereas some people really like the contemporary jazz sounds. So explore the syllabus, see if you can find anything that's up your alley, and I would use that as a starting point and find at least a couple more books to use in conjunction with your method books if those are still something that you want to work through. Anyway, that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I know this is something that comes up a lot in my studio, which is a big reason that I wanted to tackle this question this week. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next Q&A. There's a sad reality when we're working on music and learning music. I'm gonna say that again.